Well, I know the angle sucks. I'm sorry about that, fellow zombies. There's going to be a message I'm going to be putting in public at this point. As soon as I get it downloaded. Conversation between me and the clergy, but this one seems to have importance. As you're well aware, the autocracy is still continuing at this point. It's 7:32 on a Monday evening of the 14th of July, 2025. I would suggest to all you folks, since November or earlier than on, keep a hold of your recordings and bury them. You don't see the light of day until maybe some things happen for the better or for the worst. Use them as time capsules. Use them as recorders, as marks in time. And understand that everything happening, we are the recorders. We are the messengers. We are the storytellers of what had happened and why things went hell in a handbasket. If the internet still retains videos and messages of what happened, if they still have print of all the documentation, get whatever you can, store it, archive it, put it into a time capsule, bury it and forget where it is. I wish I had better news, but I sound like a naysayer at this point. With everything happening in our lifetime, in our time period, it's scaring the crap out of me more so than what I'd gathered. And I don't know how to explain it to people of what's been going on. I've got a lot of letters through the clergy that if I actually made public, well, hopefully it'll explain a lot of my feelings on matters and things going on. Some people are lucky enough to escape the boundaries of this once freedom-loving, liberty-loving, law-abiding country. Now we're just under tyranny and disposition. We are under a siege. A state of war exists, undeclared, but we've got war declared on its citizens from the government it elected. You know, some of us actually have religious viewpoints of us. I'm putting on MSNBC right now.
Carson, kind of give us the latest situation with the House Rules Committee.
Well, it's very disappointing. I had a very simple amendment that the full Epstein files should be released. It went for a vote to the House Rules Committee. Jim McGovern, who is the ranking member for House Democrats, made sure that all 4 Democrats voted for the release. Ralph Norman, a Republican, actually joined with the Democrats, saying that there should be a vote on the full release. Chip Roy didn't show up for the vote, but 7 other Republicans blocked it. So as of now, there is going to be no vote tomorrow, up or down vote on whether the Epstein files should be released.
And this was the first stage of your attempt to get a full vote by the House of Representatives, to see a full recorded vote. Everyone could see how their member of Congress voted on this issue. And that's what was blocked by the Rules Committee, not allowing you to get to that stage on the floor. Why would it be important to have that recorded vote on the floor?
Well, in a very simple way, we should see whose side are you on. That's really what this Epstein file issue has become. It's not just about knowing who's being protected, the rich and the powerful, in terms of who had interaction with Jeffrey Epstein. It's the sense that people have that the government is too beholden to certain interests who have their thumb on the scale, and that they're not working for ordinary people. And what the Democrats are saying is, we want to make sure that we get full justice here, that we get full transparency. And this may have been the first attempt that was blocked, but I'll tell you, it's not going to be the last attempt. We already have Representative Vesey, who has a resolution. Leader Jeffries is saying that we're going to push for transparency here. And we can keep introducing these kind of amendments every week, every month, to force the Republicans to demand the release. And this is something that many Republicans believe should happen, as was evidenced by Ralph Norman's vote.
The Elon Musk commentary on this situation continues. Elon Musk posted this after Donald Trump's long Jeffrey Epstein social media postings. Elon Musk said, seriously, he said Epstein half a dozen times while telling everyone to stop talking about Epstein. Just release the files as promised. Congressman, are you concerned about a possible precedent here that down the line, a few years from now, we could be talking about the release of some other federal criminal investigative file that you might think should not be released? Or is this a unique case? This is, after all, in the entire history of this country, we have exactly one president who had a convicted pedophile as a best friend.
Lawrence, look, I think you raise a very thoughtful point, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, there's a reason you have DOJ policy saying you can't leak things about people before you charge them. You would not want a Justice Department that just arbitrarily started leaking things about people caught up in an investigation. But here you have a very unique situation. You have a president of the United States who promised the American people the release of these files. You have an attorney general who went on television and said that on her desk is a Epstein client list and that she's going to promise to release that to the American public. So now you have a question of trust. And I think what the president should do is say this is a unique circumstance that potentially involves governments of other countries, that involves potentially national security. And for a one-time issue, we're going to release it to have total transparency. We're going to protect the victims, but we're going to release it. And this is not precedent setting. It's simply doing what I and the Attorney General promised the American people. And if they don't do that, they have a huge issue.
Carson Ro Khanna, thank you very much for joining us with your own breaking news.
Sure. I mean, they keep talking about Epstein like crazy, as if it was the greatest thing on earth. And yet, they wouldn't even be talking about how Trump's empire is going to be taking away more rights, more civil liberties that we would be normally under, even the rights under the Constitution. When we have the dictator saying that the Constitution no longer stands, how come these guys weren't writing a new Constitution and it's also got to be ratified? But they'll take away the ratification and just keep it as a presidential ratification, wouldn't they? I mean, everything has to be cleared to the U.S. Constitution, doesn't it? Unless you've got a government that doesn't believe in the Constitution anymore and is willing to put everybody under a microscope, and are you a citizen or not? We are forced to have identification that's quote-unquote proper. Because of the 9/11 attacks we had to get our state IDs changed for the quote-unquote real ID. Because they were afraid that the state IDs would be faked, so this would be, what, not duplicated? Eventually it will be. They'll figure it out one way or another. And every time IDs get changed and duplicated and forged. But then we're also supposed to get passports if we're going to be traveling, or just having passports, period. There are requirements in the federal government concerning about passports, and the simplest ones to get is the $35 card, but there are a lot of fees and extras to it. Processing, registering, photo ID. That'll be 6 to 8 weeks. It's good for short-term distances, as in if you're going to Canada, if they'll allow you to, or Mexico if they still like you, or maybe the Caribbean waters, but that's about it. Anything beyond that, forget it. You need to get the damn book, and it costs about 165 according to the website. I know because I was reading that stuff and getting information off of it. As I said before, concerning about the war situation, I don't joke. I don't joke about this stuff. We are forced. Either we continue to play along nice and still get captured and tortured by our own government, or else we're going to have a rebellion going on. And I know the clergy out there are split on this one. I know from one particular side of it, they don't want the violence. This is not what was being taught in scriptures. No, it wasn't. But then again, Jesus wasn't dealing with a rebellious nature during that time. He wasn't dealing with a rebellion. There may have been a few people who were pissed off at the state, but not organized enough to do anything about it. And prior before Jesus' arrival, we had Spartacus who organized and terrorized the entire peninsula of Italy until the Roman Empire put him down. But he at least made a stink about the damn shit. He got paid the price for by his own blood. And they were trying to kill the legend, and the legend was growing like crazy. Spoken about it from time to time. Hell, we've been talking about it for over, what, a century? In books, in media, in films, television, streaming. We also kept telling people what great America is supposed to be. We're supposed to be great. And yet we kept showing what kind of greedy bastards we are regarding to capitalism at this point. People hate the title of socialist or socialism. And I keep trying to educate these poor dumb bastards on my channel that we do have a type of socialism, but unfortunately we need it. You want the services? You got to pay for the damn shit. You want an ambulance ride? You got to be charged for it. You want hospitalization? You got to be charged for it. You want a doctor to take care of your ass? He's going. We have done things, and we're not proud of. We as a country, we as a people, we as humanity. But we can't be transparent about it, accountable, or responsible for it. You blame everybody else for it. That's how we are. And that's how we're still on. We're not accepting responsibility, accountability, or transparency. We want the other person to be that way. We voted him in to be that way. And he wasn't transparent. Actually, he was transparent. He said he was going to be a tyrant on day one, and he wasn't wrong. He became a full-fledged tyrant. And he unleashed hell on everybody, including the rest of the world. So if my channel is going to be a remnant, let it be known that the people of the United States screwed this one up big time for the world and history to come. We weren't honest. We weren't holding ourselves into responsibility. We were not humbled or humiliated about it. Nope. We were a pain in the asses about it. So therefore, we're going to be torturing our asses on it. Make no mistake, there's going to be some in the government right now that's going to be laughing their asses off about it. Because they made sure that happened. We did this to ourselves. Is the world going to be rescuing the United States, or do we have to do it ourselves? And if we do it ourselves, the two major dates, guys, 1860 and 1776.